Hi, my name's Timmy. I'm going to do the show and tell on your trailer. We're going to start in the front compartment. In the front compartment, you have the two batteries. You have your solar panel readout, and you also have your inverter at the very top up here. But on your inverter, it has a battery disconnect on it too. So if you're not wanting to use it, you can turn it to the off position. You have your hydraulic pump inside of here. For any reason, the slide rooms won't go in or out on their own. It does have a spot in the top of the motor, a 1/4-inch Allen wrench goes through that paper on top and will crank the rooms in or out and the jacks up or down. Both battery boxes are vented to the outside, and your 6-point leveling is mounted to the roof of the front compartment. It does have a metal floor in it for heavier objects. We're going to come around to the leveling system. On your level up system, pretty simple. It's got an on and off, an up and down button, an enter button, a retract, and an auto level. Or you can go into manual mode and move each one of the jacks individually if you wanted to. The instructions for the level up is right below it. There is a disc in the paperwork on the inside that you can put into the DVD player and play, and it'll show you exactly how to level your trailer, unlevel your trailer, and any of the manual problems that you would have. It does have two 30-pound propane cylinders on the trailer. One on this side here, one on the opposite side. On the top of your regulator, there is an arrow indicating which bottle you're working off of. Green light on the inside indicates the bottle still has gas in it. When it would happen to come empty, it's going to turn red on the eye there that the bottle that is pointed to is empty. If you have both cylinders open, it'll automatically pick up from the opposite side. And we're going to go right next to it to the water system. The water system's pretty self-explanatory. It does have an outside shower at the top. You have a satellite hookup, cable hookup, and a pump switch for winterizing. On your diagrams, the very top one is for dry camping, sucking water from the freshwater tank through the water pump to the faucets in the trailer. The one right below it is how you will actually fill the freshwater tank. The one in the center is for your city water hookup. The one above it is for winterizing. The one right below it is for sanitation. Hooked to the city water connect for all them connections. And you also have a black tank flush for when you're dumping your holding tanks. Black valve is your toilet water. You have gray tank 1, which is your bathroom sink and shower, and gray tank 2, which is your galley tank. The light switch right below it turns the two LED light strips on the front of the trailer on. This is your quick disconnect hose for your outside shower. The compartment has a two-way light. You can put it for motion censored or on 24/7. Also has a battery disconnect here and a 110 outlet that is also GFI protected by the outlet in the bathroom. There is a hole in the bottom of the compartment so you can bring your water lines and your cable lines up through, so you can leave the big compartment door shut. Next one back is the outside of the hot water heater. Hot water heater works two ways, 110 and propane. Also has an anode rod, which an anode rod draws all the impurities out of the water to it, eats up the rod instead of eating up the inside of the tank. But it is also your drain plug for the hot water heater for winterizing and dewinterizing and in between trips. You'll always want to pop the pop-off valve, make sure you have water coming out of it before you turn on electric or gas. Two reset buttons, one's for the electric side of it and one's for the gas side of it. Hopefully you never have to mess with those. Next one back is the outside of the furnace. It's going to suck colder in the back, hotter out the front. I would suggest putting a mud dauber screen over that, for the simple fact once it's been lit on propane, mud daubers love that smell. This is your power cord for the trailer. It is a 50 amp service. It's 35 foot long. You do have your termination valve for your holding tanks to dump. And right between the holding tanks and the middle jack on this side here, there is 2 low water drain points. The 2 low water drain points are used for winterizing and de-winterizing of the trailer. The lug nuts on the trailer has been torqued at 110 pounds. The tire pressure on the side of the tires is 110 pounds. We can only get it up to 105 with our air compressor. Freshwater drain for the freshwater tank. It does have a big 1.5-inch white valve.
I mean, it is in the back. You know,
The other 2 blue lines right beside that is for when the tank is overfilled. It gives it a way to drain the water out. You do have a backup camera on the back of the trailer. It's not a backup camera, it's just prepped for a backup camera. You do have the 2-inch receiver, a ladder on the back for going up and checking the roof every 90 days. You also have a quick connect gas line here at the back of the trailer. If you had an outside grill or fish fryer, that you can hook to that and use your 30-pound cylinders on the trailer for it. Another 110 outlet on the other side of the trailer here. It is also GFI protected by the outlet in the bathroom. This is the other side of your through compartment, but there is also a place out here for a TV that you can work off the antenna on top, our satellite, and a 110 outlet to plug it into, and it also has a motion censored light in that compartment. This is your other 30-pound cylinder from the other side, which actually works with the regulator on the other side of the trailer. We're going to go to the door. Main thing is, once the trailer's level, side to side, front to back, is the proper fit of the steps. On the steps, it has a blue lever that lets the steps to the door frame, a button on either side for the adjustment of the feet, and there's 18 holes in the legs that you can adjust to any contour of the ground. Main thing on it is, it has to lay flat in the threshold for the door to fit over the top of it properly. Now we'll go to the inside. Once we're up on the inside, we're going to start up here at the top. It does have your inverter button. You can turn and power it on. It's going to go through its little cycle and it's going to tell you exactly what it's taken from the batteries to make 110 for the refrigerator. The light switch right below it turns your 2 lights above your pantry on. You do have an XL Max Air fan in the ceiling above the stove. Push the button for the vent to raise. 4 speeds on the fan, an off button for the fan, and then a vent close for it. When we come down to the monitor panel, we check the battery level, shows you fully charged. It'll show you fully charged anytime the 110 line is plugged up to the trailer. To get an accurate reading on the battery, have the 110 line unplugged and then push your battery button. Freshwater tank is showing that it's empty. As it fills, it'll show 1/3, 2/3 full. Black tank 1 is your toilet water. It'll do the same thing. As it fills, it'll show 1/3, 2/3 full. Does not have the second black tank in the trailer. Does have a galley tank for the kitchen sink and a gray tank 2 for the bathroom shower and sink. There are red buttons up at the top. The first one is the gas side of the hot water heater. The second one is the electric side of the hot water heater. Before you turn the hot water heater on either source, make sure that the hot water heater tank is full of water on the outside by the pop-off valve. Third red button is for the water pump, to turn the water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. And then you have a set of tank heaters. When the tank heaters are on, the light indicates that they're on, but it has to be a certain temperature before they kick on and warm the holding tanks underneath. You have an interior light button here, safety light, which is the amber light on the steps. You have a cap light, which is your 2 lights on the front of the trailer, and awning light, which is the awning lights underneath the awnings on the front side of the trailer. Your slide room switches, this first switch runs the one on the door side out. And it's pretty simple. There's nothing for that slide room to catch on as it goes out. Slide room 2 is your kitchen slide. There's nothing on that side for the slide room to catch on either. Slide room 3 is the bedroom slide going out. We'll go ahead and run it out before we get up there. And then you have awning 1 and 2. First awning is your main awning above the door. And awning 2 is the one coming off the front slide. Each one of the slide room arms has a pinch point that you can pull down against. Tighten up the black knob to change the pitch of the awning from one side to the other. The main awning has it on it too, on either arm. But before you roll them back up, you have to loosen up the black knob, allowing the arm to slide in and out of itself. It does have LED lights up against the side of the trailer for both awnings. And they look a lot better at nighttime than they do during the day. First thermostat here, we're going to turn it on. Automatically it goes to your fan speed. Hit the mode button again to high. Cool, cool low, cool auto, cool high. Dial your temperature down for the air conditioner. Hit the mode button one more time and it shows you the heat side of it. And you'll dial your temperature up for it. Hit it one more time and it says off in the lower left or right hand corner. The second thermostat runs the second air conditioner in the living room area. It does the same thing on the fan speeds, but does not have the furnace side on it. And it still says off in the lower right hand corner. Going to run them awnings back in. Anytime you're not underneath the awnings using them, it's time to put them up. They go in pretty quick, but you don't want to leave them out during a rain or hailstorm. They act like parachutes if the wind gets underneath it. It's okay to use it if the rain's misting. If you want to be outside, have them out with the rain misting on them. But if it gets to a very good pour, it don't hurt to put them up. You don't want to get your fingers or arms caught in them either. That hurts a little bit. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the left side of the door as we step in. Table strapped to the floor. Chairs are strapped down with the straps, and they do need to be strapped down in travel. There is storage underneath the chairs that you can store cards and stuff in. It does have the slow rising shades. The button for the light above the table is right above the side right here. The recliners are plugged into your 110 outlet between the kitchen table and the recliner area. They are electric and they do have USB ports on them, and there is a USB port on the wall too. Chairs are pretty cool. They got a little push button that runs them out and reclines them back. Another button that takes it back in, and a USB port right beside of it. And the recliner chairs do need to be strapped down too in travel. The two lights above the recliners have to be turned on and off by the push button in the center. The two lights above the couch are the same way. Push button in the center of those. There is a 110 outlet on either side of the couch in the back. Fire escape window since it is a bed area. We're going to pull the cushions off, throw them onto the recliner. Then the front of the couch will lift up, tri-fold out into a bed. Once it's tri-folded out into the bed, the top part of the headrest is velcroed to the top, pulls down to make the head of the bed. We're going to lift that back up, come back to the front of the couch, lift it up, let it fold itself back in. There is 110 outlet on either side and a USB port. They do also have the slow rising shades. In this area over here, there is a 110 outlet at the top of the cabinet and a button that puts the TV in the up position. On the two TVs that's in the trailer, we got 28 stations on the TVs, which the big remote controls it. The mid-grade remote controls the stereo. And the little remote does the fireplace. And that's a TV station that's 80 miles away. That's off the antenna on top of the trailer and the booster. On the fireplace, it is Celsius and Fahrenheit. You can change the color of the rocks. You can run the temperature up or down. And you can set the fireplace to run 1 to 9 hours. And then you have your on and off button. The lights above the TV and stove have push buttons to turn them on. In the center does have a convection oven and microwave. There is a book in the paperwork for the instructions of how to cook with the convection oven. But you can hit the clock button, set the time on it, hit the clock button again until the two center eyes are solid. The reason I set the time on the microwave is I can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it. Glass stovetop. Oh, and there is a light underneath the cabinet for it too, on both sides. Glass stovetop folds up 2 times, up out of the way. Little button on the right hand side turns the lights on the stove. When it has gas coming through the valves, they turn red. It will light all 3 burners up on top of the stove. And then your oven button's the same way. When it has gas coming through for the pilot, it will turn red instead of being blue. Hit the switch on the right hand side, and it also has a light in the oven. Pretty good sized drawer below it for pots and pans. Drawer on either side. In the top drawer, there will be 2 keys for the trailer. They are going to be just inside the steps, and your thumb drive will be there too. All the rest of the paperwork that I had in the trailer is in the green bag. To the cabinet over here, the first bottom one is where your trash can is. Has 2 little silverware drawers right above it. Pretty good sized space underneath the sink itself. And the kitchen sink also has shut-off valves to the water lines on it. In case the faucet has to be changed, you can leave the water system pressured up and just turn the shut-off valves underneath the sink off. On the refrigerator, anytime that you open the door, it's going to give you a digital readout of the temperature of the refrigerator, a temperature of the freezer, and if the doors are locked or unlocked. They also give you a little ice cube tray on this side over here And they give you a little holder for small bottles on the other side. But every time the door comes open, it will give you a digital readout of what the temperature is inside. Pantry has a locking mechanism on the front of it. Shelves on the right hand side are adjustable for the height that you want them. The ones on the left hand side are stationary, but there is also a 110 outlet in the bottom of the right hand side pantry cabinet. Does have a pretty good size storage above the pantry cabinet. I'm a little short guy. I can't reach that without my step stool. And it also has 2 lights so you can see the groceries that you have on the inside. Each one of the air conditioners in the living room area vent out the ends. And there is a black filter on either side. The cleaner those 2 filters stay, the better off they work. Breaker box for the trailer is on the first step. They are marked with your breakers, with your main being in the center, from top to bottom what they are, and your car fuses across the top are marked on this side over here, and it tells you what size the fuse is. As we step up into the bathroom area, there is a light switch on the door as you come in, a single foot flush on the toilet. The trailer has been winterized after we run water through it. It does have the GFI outlet for the trailer that protects all the 110 outlets in the trailer. You also have an air conditioner vent coming in from the ceiling and a heat vent coming in from underneath the cabinet. Knurled knob in the vent in the bathroom cranks the vent lid up. Black button on that side there turns it on. Anytime you're traveling down the road, you want to make sure that the shower doors are secured. If they're not secured, they will slam back and forth and break. Pretty good sized shower area. We're going to go right back through to the bedroom. Excuse me. Light switch on the wall turns the 4 lights above us on. There is a light switch on the side of the headboard up here that will turn the light on behind the headboard. The 2 lights in the ceiling have to be turned on by hand. You have a USB port and a 110 outlet on either side of the bed. You can see it on this one on the mirror. 2 big drawers underneath the bed. Mounted your second TV. It is on a swivel mount, but it gets the same amount of TV channels as the one in the living room. And that's not too bad for a channel that's 80 miles away.
It's quite deep as well.
Does have a fire escape window in the master bedroom area. 2 red handles lifts up, hit on the center of the window. The window will open up. First cabinet space here is prepped for a washer dryer, and it has its own GFI outlet on the wall since it is a water area. Second side here of the closet does have the motion censored light in it. That is your TV box for the bedroom TV and the rest of the mounting brackets for the swivel on it. Anytime the trailer's in motion, the sliding doors need to be locked into position. You can see in the mirror the GFI outlet and the USB port. This air conditioner in here works just like the ones in the living room does. It'll vent out the 2 extra cool downs here, or it will go to the 4 vents in the ceiling. Same thermostat works the 2 in the living room, and then your light switch there. You do have a locking mechanism on the door between the bathroom and the bedroom. It does need to be secured during travel. And you have a brown vent on the wall here that brings heat into the bedroom area. We do have the slow rising shades in the bedroom area too. That's basically about everything on your trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Thank you.